Welcome to the Single Father Podcast. I am your host, Kendall Donaker. This podcast is dedicated for anyone out there who's dealing with mental health and fatherhood. You'll hear about my struggles, my defeats, my victories, my highs, my lows, my triumphs, my tribulations, and everything in between. I like to call this a collection of journal entries into my struggle and adapting to single fatherhood. Without further ado, let's take a look inside my journal, the Single Father Podcast. Good morning, or good evening, or good night, or whatever. I'm recording this in the morning. Fuck it, I'll say good morning. Good morning. What a beautiful day. I haven't created an episode in a while. I've been doing some shit, but being a dad and all. It is called the Single Father Podcast, and I was being a single dad. Speaking of being a single dad, this episode is called Dear Dating. And I'll tell you why. Dating for me is, I'll just go out and say, I think it's kind of tough, kind of shitty. I'm like, why? I'm 26. Where's my wife, man? Where is my fucking wife? I don't get it. I don't get why I'm not married yet. I don't get why I'm not dating yet. I mean, I've gone on dates, but I don't know. It's not really working out. Being a single dad is also a tough thing too. I'll tell you what, I've been discriminated against. And not because I'm black, but because I'm a father. And it doesn't happen a lot, but I was talking to this girl and she was like, we were getting along. I mean, we were hitting it off. Okay. I thought it was some Romeo and Juliet shit. And then she's like, oh, okay, well, what's your Instagram? And she's like, and then she hit me back. She's like, oh, I didn't know you had a kid, ... I'm like, okay, and how much does that bother you? And she's like, well, I'm not trying to be a mom or anything, so... And I'm like, bitch, I didn't say anything about you being a mom. Like, I don't even know about you being a girlfriend, for that matter, or even a wife. Who said anything about you being a mom? It was so off-putting to me, and I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to be a mom. Okay, I didn't say anything about that. And she literally was so rude about it. She really was. She was like, yeah, I just think we're looking for different things, and I think we want different things. I kind of wanted my own family, not to be a stepmom. I'm like, damn, And look, that does not happen often, where people are kind of like blatantly rude like that. But like, I don't want to say it bothered me, but it kind of bothered me. Not because I thought like, hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Listen, as my father would tell me, son, there's no reason to get your heart broken about this fish when there's thousands of other fish. He never said that to me, but I imagine that he did. But I mean, shit. So it's not like it bothered me because I didn't score with her, but it bothered me because it's just like, wow, that's your opinion. It's happened once before, and this other one I want to tell you about, it was so uncomfortably awkward, and it was weird. It was fucking weird. So I'm talking to this girl, we're also hitting it off, and she said, oh, you have a kid? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, we met on Hinge, right? She's like, don't you think that's something you should like tell people right off the bat? And I'm like, okay, this is the third sentence that we're even having with each other. I just didn't get around to it. And she's like, yeah, well, I just think you should tell people, like, it's really misleading. I'm like, misleading? I like, again, this is my like third or fifth sentence to you. Like, I wasn't hiding anything. I'm not hiding anything. I just didn't tell you right off the bat. And I mean, how weird is that? You only see that in movies where people are like, hey, nice to meet you, I'm in debt. I'm $30,000 in debt, by the way, and I have 3 kids, and I'm divorced. Like, who says that the first sentence? So, and I think that's what she wanted me to say, and it was weird. And then And then she kept just dragging it on, like being weird about it. She was like, "Yeah, well, I just think you misled me. I think you should like really tell people that in your bio or something." And I'm like, "Okay, now listen to me. I want everyone to listen to me here, women especially. As a single father, now I've read things and I've read articles and shit like that. I'm never ever hiding the fact that I have a kid ever. If you look at my Instagram, if you look at my social media, I blast her everywhere. She's all over my house, everything. Okay, I'm a proud father, but it's I don't want it. It's difficult because it's almost like my business until I make it your business, right? I'm I just chose to not say, hey, I have a 2-year-old daughter. Here she is on my Hinge profile or Tinder, whatever you want to call it, right? And I've read articles that say you shouldn't do that. No one wants to see, like, men shouldn't blast their children on their dating profile. It's like it's meant for a conversation. And if I'm wrong, please, any woman, like, reach out to me and say that I'm wrong. But that's what I've read. That's what I've done. I don't think it's a big deal. So it's like I'm conflicted because I'm like I've read things that said that, like, kind of tacky to do. I don't know. Like, what do you want me? I'm showing my best photos of my. You're not dating me and my child. You're dating me, right? And then maybe there's a potential for you to meet my kid. First of all, I don't let anyone meet my kid. Not for a while. So there's that. So I don't know, man. It was a weird situation, and then we kind of left it like, oh well. And I said to her, I'm like, hey, clearly I think you're being a little weird about this, so I think we're on different pages. And she's like, yeah, we are. I sighed to myself because I'm like, damn, like, I always thought that women had it the worst if they were a single mother. I'd be lying to you, myself. I'd be lying if I haven't looked, if I haven't second guessed or looked twice because I'm swiping and I see, oh, okay, you have a kid. I'd be lying if I haven't had a little bit of a second guess. But here's what's really important. The person. If I'm getting along with the person, if I'm vibing with the person, if I have a connection with the person, then the rest will follow. First of all, I'm a great dad. I love kids. So I'm not going to specifically discount or discredit someone because they have a kid. No. It's the person that matters. For instance, I was dating, not like boyfriend and girlfriend, but I was going on dates and dating this girl who had a kid. Finally, she was like, and we vibed, but finally she was like, hey, okay, I want you to meet my kid. I'm like, sure. So I met him and got to observe how she was with her child. And that situation totally was not for me because I hated everything about how she was as a parent. Everything she was as a parent, I despised. It was horrible. Horrible. I don't want to see. I'm trying to use my words carefully because I don't want to disrespect anyone. Everyone has their own ways of parenting and things like that. But how she was as a parent was totally the opposite of everything I would be. And I'm like, okay, I there's no way I could date you. And uh, this is tough to say openly, but I did not like her. I did not like her kid. I didn't. I did not like her kid at all. For many different reasons. But so that situation really wasn't for me. And I think it's okay to say, and first of all, those girls that said that wasn't for them, that's okay. I don't think it was worth being rude about, but that's okay saying, hey, being a step parent is not for me. I don't want to do that. I think that's okay to say. I think there's a debate there, right? You can get to know someone and you can take that as an accountability and figure out the rest. But I think it's okay to say, hey, being a step parent is not for me. I think that's okay to have that opinion, right? But I also think it's worth getting to know someone before you make that assumption and getting to know every other aspect too. I thought being a step parent with that specific woman, I thought maybe like, okay, we'll see. And then I got to see how she was as a parent and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this ain't for me. I'm not saying it's not for me in perpetuity at all, ever. But with her, it's like, hey, I don't see a future. Um, so yeah, that was that. And it was just interesting to me, kind of the way it works. I always thought women had it the worst with dating and having a kid, and I'm sure they do. It's just like, damn, like here I am being discriminated. I don't know. It's slightly hypocritical and slightly like upsetting, but it's just an interesting. It's just an interesting way of the world. It's like I'm hindered by having a kid, but like, what do you want me to do? Apologize? Oh, I'm so sorry I have a kid. I'm so sorry. The hell? Like, no, I'm not gonna apologize. Like, I don't know. I don't know what women expect me to say. When they if you say something like that. I'm not. I don't know about you having a kid. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. It's weird, and it's kind of rude to even say. You could say, hey, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to speak for anyone else's feelings. Like I said, I've been guilty of feeling some type of way, but I've always been able to give the the person a chance too, because it's kind of like, and only a parent would understand this, but when you're at a restaurant and you're seeing like this family with their kid, and to a certain extent, I feel like if your kid's walking around barefoot at a restaurant, you're you know what I'm saying, you're suspect. But when you see a family at a restaurant and their kids acting crazy and they're screaming and crying, and you're like, wow, like look at that, like have control of your kid. Okay, well listen, ever since I had a kid, when I bring Layla, my daughter, to a restaurant, sometimes it is horrible, and I have no control over that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like parents getting kicked off of a plane because their kid not wearing a mask. I'll tell you this: I am in control over my daughter, but she's also two. And at a certain point, if she doesn't want to wear a mask on an airplane, I would at a certain point would have no control over that. I really wouldn't. So I mean, I can yell at her and I can put this on now, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, listen, it's at a certain point it would she would scream, like, I don't know, you get it, right? Like at a certain point you get it. Like you get where people are coming from, because you're like, hey, I have no control over that. And I forgot where I was going with this scenario. Um, but anyways, oh yeah. So I don't know. So like, as a single dad, I get like a woman who is just trying to find love and also has a kid. I'll give her a chance because I get it. You know, and it's not like that's a burden. Having a kid is not a burden. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, and it sucks that sometimes people can kind of judge you and make you. Well, first of all, no one makes me feel like it's a burden, but it's. I don't know. Yeah, I think the audience, you can kind of get what I'm saying, but I don't know. Like dating's kind of hard in that aspect, and at this point in my life, I think what I'm mostly looking forward to is, meaningless sex is kind of not my bag, man. What I really want to do is I want to find something genuine. As The Rock says on that one movie with Kevin Hart, I want to find someone who's beautiful on the inside and the outside. I want to find someone who makes me laugh, who I can cuddle with, who I can build with, who I can build a family with. I often I get asked like, "Hey, do you want another kid?" As of right now, I'd say, "Hell no." To the no, 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 hell no. But that's only because I'm a single father. I feel like if I had a partner, if I had someone to do it with me, then I would love the opportunity. But you know, it does. I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of scare me. Um, there was so much surrounding my daughter's birth and things like that that were so unpleasant for me. I had a bad experience the first couple months of her being born with her mother, and you know, it really kind of traumatized me a bit. Like I never ever want to be in this position again. You know, her and I are doing week to week now. I have Layla 1 week, she has Layla 1 week, and we feel like it's healthier that way for her because you know she can have the time and not being rushed out of one house and blah 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 blah. And I get it and I agree. But I'll tell you what, no one, I don't think anyone has ever gone into a situation being like, hey, let's be co-parents. Being a co-parent is very, very hard and it's difficult. And especially in the beginning when her mother and I did not get along, it was even more challenging because there was less communication, there was constant bickering, there was fighting, there was worry. Are we going to court? Like, blah, blah, blah. Are you recording me or are you documenting what I do and vice versa? And blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of animosity and hurt there. But now, you know, I spoke about it before, but I feel like we're really good because we let go of kind of what was hindering us from becoming good parents. And that was just kind of the aspect of like, look, we do not necessarily like each other. Um, the truth is, you know, if we didn't have our daughter, we'd probably never speak to each other again. And that's something that we've spoken about. You know, it's sad, but it's like sometimes when you date, you go different directions. And that was really hard too because when we dated and we broke up, I think the beautiful thing about hey, if you break up with someone and you're allowed to heal alone. You're allowed to go separate directions and you can block them if you want to. You never have to see them again if you don't want to. You can heal and maybe come back together at a different time, but but you need some time away. Being a co-parent is really challenging and surreal because there's no time away from each other. You break up and you still have to see each other, you know, and talk to each other all the time because of your child. So that was an interesting kind of narrative within our relationship because it was so hard to heal and fix what was broken because we're constantly in each other's faces and we constantly have to communicate. So that really caused a huge rift between us. And, you know, I tried to get back together several times, but I think what I've come to realize is I didn't want to get back together necessarily because I loved her, as as douchey as that sounds. I wanted to get back together because it'd be easier for me because I hated being a co-parent because I hated doing it alone. You know, I hated being a parent alone. But eventually got past that. And on a side note, I'm actually blessed that it happened because I've had a better appreciation for being a father. I do everything on my own. I change the diapers, I make the meals, I take her to the park, I make sure she's safe, she's brushing her teeth, her nails are cut, she's washed, she's happy, she's a princess. I do my job as a father all the way. You know, I'm a good dad, and I think I've become a better father more than I ever could be if I was with her mother. And I think that was kind of the what I needed, if that makes sense. But anyways, we let go of that kind of like well, it's interesting because when her and I first broke up, um, my dad was like, and I spoke about this before, but my dad was like, you know, hey, fuck her, man. If it has nothing to do with your daughter, then don't talk to her. And my dad's divorced and things like that, and I didn't really like how it panned out for him, so I was like, I don't want to take that route. I'm gonna try to be friends, and the thing about being friends of someone that you broke up with is you're reminded about why you broke up with them in the first place. I remember one time we were in the car together, and you know she said something, and I was like, "Holy shit, I don't like you." But but it was she said something that was totally like I would break up with you right now if you know if we were together, and and that's no disrespect. I mean, I'm sure she feels vice versa as well. Um, but it was it was interesting because we don't belong together, but we've managed to become really good co-parents. I wouldn't say we're borderline friends, but she has a boyfriend that I've met. I don't know him, but I've met him, and we speak, um, and there's a lot of uncomfortability there, a little bit, but I've gone past the uncomfortability, and I look past it because it's the benefit of my daughter, and it doesn't really bother me as much as I thought it would, because at the end of the day, I'm her father, and that's all that matters, and no one can take that away from me. And yeah, is it uncomfortable having another man? I mean, my daughter is being raised with her mother and another dude. And is that uncomfortable? Absolutely, it is. But we have this thing where it's week to week. I have Layla for a full week. Her mother can call and FaceTime every day and say goodnight. And I do the same. And when she has her, I FaceTime and say goodnight, and I have no problem with allowing my daughter to say, "Hey, say goodnight to Connor." Connor's his name. Say goodnight to Connor. Say goodnight to her mother, and I have no problem with making sure that she says goodnight to the both of them. I have no problem with him saying hi to her when she's over at my house, and her saying hi, and I have no problem with that. And like I said, is it a little bit uncomfortable? Sure, it is. I'm not gonna lie. I think it always will be a little uncomfortable, but um, you know, it's not an issue, right? I trust that her mother is a good mother and she makes good judgments. And I've met the guy. I gave him my little fatherly threat one time, and that's it. That's all that needs to be really done there. I have no beef. Her mother and I don't really talk, but we have a good relationship, and and that's all that matters. I heard Lenny Kravitz say with his ex, sometimes things don't work out, but the beautiful thing is that you guys can remain friends and have a good relationship, and for the betterment of your child. And that's what I've been able to do. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. People are afraid, like, if I date you, there's baby mama drama. No, there isn't. And any drama, I'm taking it. Okay? She isn't crazy. I mean, debatable. Cough, cough. But, she isn't crazy, and everything's groovy, if there's any drama, and her and I don't fight. Every once in a while, a couple months, we'll have like who has the bigger dick competition, you know? But it's mostly based off of like a concern we have for our daughter or something like that, and who's making the bigger judgment call or some shit like that. It's not ever anything. We don't take. In my younger days, if we were to get in a fight, when we first used to fight, it would be like, I feel bad, but unfortunately, it'd be like, fuck you, bitch, or you're an asshole, or blah 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 blah. We'd take it there, and I think age difference played a factor. I'm 26, she's 21, and she may tell you one thing, and I'll tell you another. I think age played a part. I remember when I was 21, I thought that I was right about everything, and I'm totally not saying that I am, but I think we have very different opinions on things, but in my younger days, we used to take it that far, but we don't anymore. We can yell at each other, but we draw the line at blatant disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, we don't take it to a level where it hinders our ability to be parents. And as much as I may be mad at her sometimes. She's still the mother of my child, and I will always respect, love, and care for her. And if she needs anything on any given day, I'll be there. And that's that. So, that part of my life is truthfully all groovy. It really is. Um, I it's all groovy there. The thing that just bothers me is just dating. Dating just kind of sucks. And you know what? I hate being on Hinge, or Tinder, or Bumble, or whatever you want to call it. I hate swiping all day. Dude, I am busy. Once you get to a certain age, like 20, if you're 26, a parent, working, and you're on Tinder every day, that's a problem. Like, I don't know if you're really busy or care about your future, because how can I just swipe every day and still have a career? Like, I'm a provider. I got to take care of myself, my family, my future, my daughter. I got to leave her with a castle when I pass away. I can't just swipe every day. So that's also challenging. And getting to know people is challenging, and especially getting to know people during COVID. Because look, creeps out there have ruined it for the good men. I remember back in the day when I learned what dating is. You look on the movies, you invite a girl over for dinner, you make dinner, and you have some wine and blah 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 blah. That's always what I thought a date was. So, I'll invite girls over, well, because it's a pandemic. You know what I mean? The pandemic, you can't go anywhere. I believe in COVID. Sorry, I do. So I'm not trying to really go out that much. And it's cheaper to just cook, by the way. So, I'll be like, come over, I'll make dinner. And they're like, oh, you just want to fuck me. No, no, I don't. I just said, come over and I'll make dinner. So that's also really challenging too, because I don't know, sometimes I don't really want to go out to a bar and get drunk and have drinks. Sometimes a really chilled night for me is just me making some dinner and playing board games or just drinking at the house. You know what I mean? That sounds super fun to me. So I don't know. In Vegas, I'll tell you, is tough dating out here. There's a lot of unreal and unrealistic people, a lot of fake people and things like that. And I don't know. So dating is just tough. It really is. There's a few people that I talk to that I'm like, okay, you're really awesome, and then maybe I'll get busy. I dropped this one girl. This one girl literally sent me 20 texts within 5 minutes. And I said, holy, because I didn't reply for 5 minutes. And I said, holy shit, dude, I was just cooking. And she's like, wow, okay. I'm like, wow, what? And she's like, you couldn't even say hi or something? I'm like, I was stirring. And she's like, K. And I blocked her. I was like, you're giving me serial killer vibes. You're crazy. So I don't know. And then it's shit like that though. You're like, holy shit, I'm glad I didn't invite you over. I can't have a crazy in my house when I have a kid here. I don't know. But I want to tell all the ladies out there, hey, by the way, I do not have my kid 24/7. My kid will not be on the first date. There is no baby mama drama. No one said anything about you being a mother. I don't even know if you're girlfriend material, let alone mother material. If you want a family on your own, great. That's cool. I never said I wanted a family with you. So, I mean, let's get the facts straight. All right? Like, and by the way, if I didn't say that I had a kid on my first sentence with you, I wouldn't take that offensively. That's my fucking first sentence. So, and by the way, my daughter's beautiful. I will never apologize for that little angel, ever. And if you think I'm hindered by having a kid, think again. I'm blessed. I'm more happy. I'm more driven by having a kid. It makes my life better. It doesn't hinder me in any way. She's the joy of my life, and the best thing I could ever ask for. She makes me smile. She makes me happy. She's like my best friend. This little irritating woman is like my best friend. She folded her arms and frowned at me the other day and said, I'm not even sure where she learned that from, but I thought that was so cute.
Even when she's stressing me out, I'm like, dude, you're my favorite person. I have a king size mattress, and sometimes I feel like this little girl takes up the whole thing. All those little memories and all those little things, like I live for it. You think I'm gonna apologize for that? You think I'm hindered? Hell no. Hell no. And you know what I say to a girl when they say some shit like that? All right, have a good one. Because my true queen in this world wouldn't care. They would love me for who I am and everything that I have. And I'll love them for who they are and everything that they have. When you really love someone and you really care about someone, you accept the things that are also wrong with them. Like John Legend said, or was it John Legend? Yeah, like I love all of you, all your ends and all your your flaws and all your beginnings or something. You know what I'm talking about. Fuck that. Whatever. I thought I knew the song, but I clearly don't. Don't invite me to karaoke. Anyways, yeah, dating's a tough gig. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not just looking to fuck. I don't give a fuck about fucking anymore, man. By the way, my friend brought up a good point. Are condoms just a novelty now? Does anyone really use condoms? Like, I have condoms in my room, but it's kind of weird. Like, if someone said, "Hey, do you have condoms?" I'd be like, "Yeah, they're in a box to the left." Like, does anyone really use condoms anymore? I think men's pullout games have just been stronger, right? I mean, shit, or you're on birth control. I don't know anyone that just goes out and buys condoms like they used to. I bet condom sales are down. Are they? I don't know. Wish I had a person to look it up for me. But I feel like the only way I'd use a condom, to be honest with you, is if a girl looked me in the eyes and said, "I don't want you to use a condom." Then I would definitely put a condom on. She'd be like, "Why?" I'd be like, I really didn't like how you said it. There's no way I'm not using a condom now." Crazy. um why did I start talking about that? But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I seriously though, I mean, really think about it. When's the last time you used a condom? Maybe on a one night stand. Even then, they're like, I think you're just trusting it. I mean, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I wish I had a better time dating. I mean, listen, those instances that I brought up, they don't happen a lot. I don't know why I'm still single. It's just sometimes I find girls, hey, someone's like a little boring, or someone's not interesting, or someone said something I didn't like. I don't know if I'm purposely not finding a wife on purpose, or if it's just like the people that I meet are just kind of like, you know. The sad part is when I match with people that are super dope, like that are amazing, they're usually from out of state. Like the people that I vibe with the most are out of state. I think it's Vegas is the problem. I'm not gonna lie. It's Vegas. It's Vegas. The people, because first of all, when I mean out of state, everyone comes to Vegas, right? So you match with people, you're like, oh my god, I'm in love. This is the perfect situation, and you're like, you're out of state. Fuck. So there's that. And like in my younger days, I'd be like, oh, I'm totally gonna fly you out. No, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to bullshit you. This probably isn't gonna work. I'll tell you what, probably the only baggage that I have about that comes with me with dating is like I kind of have to stay in Vegas unless like her mother wants to move somewhere that I mutually want to move to. I can't just leave. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I have her one week and I don't have her the next week. I guess I could have a place somewhere else on the week I don't have her. But I think like, what if there's an emergency, and what if my daughter gets older and just wants to come over? I don't know. Like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a lot to think about. Anyways, but I don't know. Sex has kind of gone down with COVID, right? Does anyone is anyone having sex as much as they used to? I mean, I have, but I'm kidding. But like I don't know, like I I it's been a minute since I got shit rocking in my bed. Not a minute, but been about 2 minutes. um Look, I feel like I'm really comfortable in my life. If I'm meant to be single forever, that's great. Sometimes I feel like I am. I had a conversation with this girl that I felt like I needed to marry. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I feel like I want a wife, but like I kind of want her to like I kind of want to sleep on in like different rooms. Like I also like I have a king size mattress and I use all of it. Like I want all of my pillows. I want all of my covers. I don't want anyone to really like I love cuddling and shit like that, but like sometimes I just don't want someone to touch me. Like I'm like and she was like, "Oh my God, I feel the same way. I kind of just want like to have a to have a husband but also be able to like be able to avoid each other in our house." It was so amazing. I'm like, "Holy shit, are we doing this right now?" Cuz I was blown away. I'm like, "Are you serious? That's totally how I feel. I don't want I don't know. It sounds horrible, but like I would love to have someone to keep me company and shit like that, but I also would love to like be alone. It's weird. Like I like dating, but I also I don't like, you know, I don't want someone to like spend the night with me. um which is interesting. I said, "Hey, if we get married, we can have like an extra room. That's your room, that's my room." Or just get an extra king size mattress. Um, so I'll let you know how that goes. She's great. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted, but please, if you guys have any dating advice, let me know. Especially if you're a single parent, please let me know. I joined a single dad group on Facebook and some sad things in there. A lot of single men not getting laid. But I don't know. I look. I love my girl. I love spending time with her, and I wouldn't give that up for the world. And especially if you think I'm gonna give that up for some pussy, hell no, man. I'm totally comfortable with my life right now. Would I love someone to spend time with? Absolutely. But am I gonna rush it? Am I forcing it? No. Do I feel bad that I'm 26 and I don't have a wife? A little, but maybe I don't need to be married right now. Maybe I don't ever need to be married. I don't care. No, I can go either way. I'd love someone to spend time with, but like I said, I'd also love to like never have to like someone take up my bed ever. So I'm rambling at this point. I guess I should wrap it up, but yeah, that's that. Well, anyways, guys, thank you for listening. This was my personal journal here today, Dear Dating. I can tell you a whole bunch of dating stories that um well, actually, I guess I should leave you guys with one dating story. I'm trying to think, what would it be? What would it be? What would it be? Okay, well, I was dating this girl. This is explicit. I was dating this girl. I mean, she was really, really, really attractive. I'm talking Megan Fox level attractive. Like, I'm sitting here trying to impress her, right? So this is the first time we're about to have sex. Okay, so we're getting jiggy with it. We've been drinking for a long time. We're doing some foreplay and we're making out, and so I'm on the edge of my bed. I sit down on my bed. She gets on her knees. She's about to, you know what I'm saying? And right before it happens, she turns to the side and throws up everywhere. 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 On my Jordans, on my jeans, on my wall. Could not believe it. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And that was probably the most traumatic dating experience I've ever had. And, uh, yeah, she was, the weird part about that is she said, there's a, like sometimes you don't know if people are psychopaths or not. I was totally polite about it, blah, 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 blah. You know, we didn't have sex, by the way. But afterwards, I'd say like 2 days later, she tried to get me to sign an NDA. She wanted me to sign a non-disclosure agreement, agreeing to never tell anyone that story again. And I think you can guess if I signed it or not. But hey, I'm not saying her name, right? But so that was probably the most traumatic dating experience I've ever had. So listen, guys, tell me your most traumatic dating experiences. Tell me your trials and tribulations of dating. Tell me if COVID has made dating either better or worse for you. I think it's made things kind of difficult. You go to a bar, you don't know if someone's attractive or not. You're like, damn, Shotty, you look good with your mask on. Take a mask off, and you're like, ooh, put that back on, girl. Shit. Like, you get a, like, I don't know. I feel like COVID has made dating kind of weird. I feel like my dating life is hopeless. Please, if you have any tips, let me know. Share your dating experiences. Write into me. Maybe you can even be on the podcast with me. I'd love to vent with you. Okay? The podcast is called VentPack, the Single Father Podcast. Thank you guys. My name is Kendall Donaker. Thank you for listening. I appreciate everything in the support. Please, we have a Facebook page that's slowly. I've been a little slow on it, but please like our Facebook page. Please follow us on Instagram. And if you like this podcast and you want to hear more of my journal entries, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps. It really, really does. Like I said, I'm a single father trying to make a living. Give that button a like. I mean, what does really matter to you, If you just like it. You like the pod, you favorite it, you say you loved it, who gives a fuck, right? Just love it. Just say you love it. Say you fucking love it, okay? Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate everything, and, we have more updates coming soon. I'll have more journal entries coming soon for you. Like I said, if you want to be on the podcast, let me know. Appreciate it. Check out our website, by the way, which is ventpack.org. Keep in touch with everything there. Love you guys, and stay beautiful. And remember, we vent together, we stand together, VentPack.
Why can't you and Mom just pretend to be happy?
We probably could.
And we'd still be a family.
Yeah, we would be. But we'd be a pretend family, It wouldn't be real. You'd know. We'd be acting. And you can't act 24 hours a day. I'm not that good an actor. Today proved that. Life's more real and wonderful than that. Acting, it's nice, but it's a job.
It's your job to be our father.
No, it's not a job. It's a joy being your father. I don't have to play the part of your father. I am your father. I may act like a fool, but I am your father, okay? Always. Rain, shine. That's the one wonderful thing in my life.